Hi, my name is Abby Church, and this is my presentation on USC 418 McPherson organizational structure. I chose to focus on our organizational structure within our early childhood program, and mainly because it is, I feel, something that is unique and different in our school district and other districts. We are a pre-K through 12 district. We have preschools in all of our elementary schools, and we also collaborate with another county. So we have 6 different sites, and our office is housed in a separate site from all of those. So it's just a blended program, and so it just makes it unique, and I wanted to present on that. So here is the organizational chart for our program. And so we are a federally, 90% of our funds come from a federally funded program called Head Start. And they have their own regulations and mandates that we have to follow that is different than just following the state policies or even special ed services. And they typically are more stringent. And so we follow those. We treat everyone the same. We have a blended program where we have students that qualify based on at risk, needing special ed services, or we have peers or paying tuition. And so we treat everyone the same and typically follow the most stringent policy, which again tends to be Head Start. So within our organizational structure, at the top of that, we have our Board of Education and our Policy Council. So we get a rep from every site. Typically, we try to get a Head Start family, and those two are our governing body. So any policy, procedure, hire, new hire, any changes within the program have to be approved by both the Board of Education and the Policy Council. So typically it goes through the Policy Council first, then to the Board of Education. Next, we have the Executive Director of the Early Childhood Program, and this is another position that is required by Head Start, and that is typically our superintendent. This is my 7th year here in this position, and we've had 3 different superintendents, and so they are the liaison for our early childhood director and the Board of Education and Policy Council. And so that is how that top order goes. Next, so we have an early childhood director, and currently he helps manage the day-to-day operations of the programs, ensures that we are following any of the mandates or policies and procedures that we have to have in place. He works with all 6 of the building principals because, again, our office is housed in another site. And then the building principals are the supervisors for the teachers and are with them for the day-to-day operations within the buildings. They work together and parallel together as far as meeting the needs of the early childhood program together. Underneath the director, we have 3 coordinators. Well, we have an assistant director of family services, so she does all of the enrollments and is a part of the family engagement piece. We have an education coordinator, and she's also considered the coach. We also have the health and safety coordinator. And also that reports to the director is our early childhood social worker. So she's technically not a part of the management team, but is housed out of our office and reports directly to the early childhood director. Underneath the health and safety coordinator is an admin assistant, and she also reports to the assistant director of family services. We have one other secretary that's housed in our office, the fiscal admin assistant, who reports directly to the early childhood director. So one thing unique about our program is we have family advocates, and we have one at every elementary school, and they are the liaison for families and the school buildings. And so they work with families to get resources if they're needed, such as like if they're needing healthcare, insurance, help them communicate with special ed services. And so they work hand in hand with the families and they report to our Assistant Director of Family Services. Within the family advocates at each site, they form parent committees, and these parent committees help plan pre-COVID. It's been a little different now. The parent committees are representatives for the other parents at each site, and they have tried to attempt to have monthly meetings where they discuss any kind of social engagements that are going on that they want, any questions that might be parents. The family advocates report any new changes to policies or procedures at these committees, and then they report to the families within each site. Our education coordinator mentors and coaches all of our preschool teachers. And so she's responsible for helping with professional development, training, making sure that the curriculum is being taught with fidelity, with assessments, and is there, like I said, as a coach and mentor for our pre-K teachers. Then in each classroom, we have teaching assistants, and they report directly to the pre-K teachers, and they are basically what their titles as their assistants in the classroom and helping, meeting the needs of the students and the day-to-day functions of the classroom. And then, of course, we have our students within the classrooms as well. And so, again, like I said, I felt like this was a unique organizational structure just because of the different types of jobs and positions we have within our program, and that we still have our own hierarchy order of that things are reported and done within just early childhood program that is within our school district. So our program, I feel like, is more like the functional structure of organization. We have the top-down hierarchical structure where, again, we're reporting to our director, then who reports to the superintendent or the executive director, and then up to the policy council and board of education. And I felt that way too is also because we each have our defined jobs and specializations and our responsibilities within that hierarchy and within the structure. And because it is pretty different, we have anything from health to family services and enrollment to education to social work. So it does, I feel like, have different unique specializations to it. And what I do like about that, the functional structure, is that staff are able to work within their skill sets again. So depending on which area within our program, they're able to work specifically on those, which I read does improve it with efficiency. One disadvantage I wanted to point out with the functional structure that I found in my resource is that by doing the functional structure, departments can become siloed, and we have personally felt this within our program. We tend to focus on our one area and not realize or be able to communicate as effectively what we're working on or what needs to be worked on because we're so siloed. And so therefore we could be doing 2 or 3 different projects but working towards the same common goal, but it's in each of our own specialized area. And so that's just one thing I wanted to point out, just because I do feel like we've experienced that we're working really hard on trying to do more communication and collaboration. And so we're not working on the same type of goal and in different ways, but doing it more in a collaborative effort. So that is, again, just something I wanted to point out with the functional structure, just because we've worked hard. Job cross-training, we're working really hard on too. So anyways, that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.